Yes, ho, I know. You better record. Welcome to the Soliloquy Podcast, where we step out and talk about sexuality. This is your host, Vernon Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, also known as Sebastian Adams. You can follow me on
Stop.
OnlyFans.
Stop, Keisha. Stop.
Oh, this
Stop. Stop, Keisha, bitch. Stop. Stop, Keisha. Stop. Stop. Stop, Keisha, bitch.
also being Coco, if you knew me back in the day.
Woo! Oh man, them went Coco days. Wow.
Job. Anyways, I have my friend Shane with me again.
What,
Shanette.
what,
That's
what,
not
what?
really her name. Don't call her that. She will cut your ass.
Shanate. You lucky you ain't next. I would have punched your ass, your titty.
Why in the titty? Good
Or
God.
was it? Well, I wouldn't have punched you. Like flipped it up. Like, bitch.
We not lifting titties. Hold up. Lift, 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 lift. Look, y'all, after the show, we just going to have a titty twerk off. So if
That
you want,
sounds tiring. Wait a minute.
it really
My
does.
back, my back already hurts because of these bitches. Don't make me do that.
Lay on your back and just grab one by the nipples and see how far you can go. Oh, that
Oh, that's
sounds
terrible.
painful.
That sounds.
Oh, my
Ooh,
nipple sore from that one.
man.
If your nipple is sore from that little statement, please subscribe. Might as well, shameless plug. Anyways, today we are talking about some real life shit. The topic in itself is Planned Parenthood, but we're really not talking about the organization. We're just talking about life things. But the first thing that I want to just bring out there, because we might as well talk about it, is abortion rights. So Shane, I already know how you feel about it, but might as well let the audience know, how do you feel about abortions?
I am all for allowing a woman to make the best choice for herself. Because at the end of the day, her body and life ain't my fucking business.
Amen to that.
Like, I wish a bitch would try to come to me and tell me what the fuck I can and cannot do with my body. I don't like people telling me what the fuck I can and cannot do already. Like, hold up, who you talking to?
See,
Like, yeah, if I ever had to make that decision, I don't know what I would choose because at the end of the day, it depends on what the situation is.
right,
Accidents happen, condoms slip off, break.
all the time.
Yeah, birth control is while effective if you take it properly, but a lot of people don't understand you need to take it properly for it to be effective.
Like, I'm definitely pro-choice, and I'm also pro shut the fuck up, white men. Like, you don't. If you do not, if you are a man with a vagina, you can speak. Until you fit that category, shut the fuck up. White men, shut the hell up. Black men who just going around here just saying the same thing that white men doing, even though it's not many, shut the fuck up. Asian
Man, it's
men,
Black History Month. We don't need to hear white people's voices.
we don't, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Like, just shut up. If you are a
Yeah,
penis owner, shut the fuck up because this is
exactly.
not a conversation for you. The way I see it, if you're not affected, you should not be writing the laws. And on top of that, even if you're not affected, you still should have that choice of what you do with your own body. We are
Hmm.
living in a society right now that's saying that I should have control over whether I wear a mask or not, but you cannot get an abortion for your own body, regardless of like, the thing that really bothers me about the argument is that rape should not be a qualifier for my actions of, if I was a woman, of getting rid of a fetus, a
Ooh,
parasite, a
depends
cell.
on where you are in this country. The father can contest that abortion.
Like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
I had a conversation with the student back in the day, and he asked me how I felt about the situation he was in, where he was having a pregnancy scare, and
Mm.
he was like, "So we talked about it. The abortion would be around $400 if she chooses to go that route. But I just want to know how how I would feel if she decided to keep it." Like, he wanted the advice about what should be his actions afterwards. Not, me being the coach that I am, I always give scenarios or different
Yeah,
examples of what path you can take. And I was like, look,
yeah.
you're young, and if she do decide to keep the baby, then that's a decision that you have to make if you want to be in that child's life or if you don't want to be in that child's life. And if you choose not to be in that child's life, that might impact you in the future, it might not. But if you go to that point where you just decide that you don't want anything to do with it, sign your rights away for that child. That way the mother can do whatever she needs to do for that baby. Even outside of that, be willing to pay child support because you are equally responsible for sleeping with that young lady. So you are responsible for if she keeps it or not. Regardless of how much she wants to raise that child support, you late with her, children's grow, their expenses grow. So you have to be there to help them out. Now, with signing your rights away, if that child grows up and be phenomenal, they can be the next president. You don't have any right to walk up to them and just like, oh, my baby, you weren't there. You never were there. And just leave it at that. But I need to follow up on that situation now. Think about
it. But yeah, there are just some people who know early on, even as like young kids, like high school, early college, hell, graduating college, that they don't want kids. They're not meant to be parents. Like some understand from that point, like they like, listen, I don't like kids. Like some of them have a deep, unsettling feeling when they're around kids. And they're like, I don't want them. I don't want to do this. And if they sign away their rights, most of them stick to that plan. They're like, listen, I'm not fit to be a parent. And at that point, I fully agree with them about just disconnecting from the child altogether. Because if you force someone who doesn't want to be a parent, make them be a parent, that resentment is going to breed out in some way, some form. Like it's just better off for the child. Even people are like, well, the parent should be held accountable. Yes and no. Yes, they should acknowledge that they had a kid. But if it is better off for that child for them to be never known, so fucking be it. Because I know people, you probably know people who have kids who should not have had kids.
Girl.
Like bottom, like this, plain and simple. They should not have had kids.
I have a cousin who has 14, and I'm just like, you should have stopped at 6.
Wait a minute.
She's an older cousin. Older.
Either way it goes, that's still a lot of kids. Anyway, but yeah, like there are just some people who should never have had kids and they have them. So that's like my point is like, if she knows she is going to be miserable and hate that pregnancy and that baby, just let it happen. Just let her abort it. Even if she does just give it to the father, that's still her body that has to go through all of those changes. Some women go through absolute hell.
Some women die, and they could have been in
especially in our country.
Like that's the thing that I need a lot of men to understand. It's like, I get that you want to have that child. Find you so there's so many. There are 7 billion people on this planet, and you saying that this one person needs to be your baby mama. No, if she does not want that baby, don't force her to have the baby just because you want a child. Find one of the other 7 billion people. Well,
there are plenty of women who want kids. And like there are plenty of men who don't want kids. There are enough for both. Don't force a child onto someone who doesn't want it. Because whichever parent keeps the child, they have to think about the child's well-being overall. And if their other parent wants absolutely nothing to do with them, don't force it.
That child's just
even the child's like, I want to meet such and such. They're like, just tell them flat out, your parent, like they didn't want to be a parent for a reason. It's better for your mental health, mental stability, emotional health to just understand this. It's probably gonna suck. Some of it is better if they go through therapy, because dealing with a parent that doesn't want you is through therapy, then is better than dealing with a parent that doesn't want you in person.
Right.
And like you don't want to meet that person.
Like even like for me, if the child really does want to meet that parent, I will give them the opportunity. If I was in that situation and the parent of my child just is like, I don't want to be any part of it, I understand. Sign your rights away. Good. Scoochie. When it gets to that point, I will let them know, okay, this is what happened at when you were conceived. Not the act, just, outside of the act.
Yeah.
But, this is what happened then. And this was what happened during your birth. They did not want to be in your life, my life, or anything like that. But if you want to get to know them, I'm willing to reach out because somehow I still have a number. Well, if Facebook is still a thing, I'm not going to.
Who knows?
In the future, I'm really not. I'm probably going to be.
No, we're old as hell.
Right. But reach out to them the best way I can to at least try to get that connection. But if they don't want to do it, just be real. Like they're not interested. But guess what? You have somebody here who loves you. And that's the thing that children really need, is to be surrounded by people who actually care for them and love them at all times, even when they fail.
Yeah.
The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression. When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Soliloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Soliloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation. Who actually care for them and love them at all times, even when they fail.
Yeah. I read a couple of stories like of women being forced to keep their kids. They give them up to the other parent. As soon as it popped out, just sign the paperwork and they out the hospital. They're like, deuces. Like there was one, she was forced to keep the baby because the dad took her to court and everything. Like it was a whole shaboodle. Mm-hmm. She was forced to keep the baby, go through the entire pregnancy. She was miserable. She hated the whole experience. Gave up rights, was willing to pay child support. She paid more than what she was expected to pay every month. And the dad got mad at her for not wanting to be a mom. People were like, my God, you forced her to have that baby.
Right.
She had that baby. She gave you the baby. She pays more than what she's legally required to pay in child support. What else do you fucking want from this woman?
Right.
And it's the same for like when women keep the baby and the man doesn't want to keep the child. It's like, listen, he's paying child support. He told you flat out from the beginning. I'm not sure what it is with people thinking children is going to fix the relationship or bring them together. I'm like, that is not how that works. Nine times out of 10. In fact, it just puts a bigger strain on it because now there's another being in this situation.
A whole human being.
And it's like, if this relationship is failing, don't bring a kid into it. All you're doing is just adding more and more stress to that child. That child
gonna be so traumatized just because daddy or mommy doesn't love me and I have no idea what I ever did. And if you are that child,
it's not the kid's
absolutely fault. Nothing. You did absolutely nothing. It's just mommy and daddy had some issues that they did not want to be honest and truthful about, and they thought a kid would fix the shit. And I'm sorry, you were not the fix, but you don't have to be around that situation. Grow and be better than what.
Like, if you think cut off both your fucking parents, cut off your fucking parents. I'm not sure why people are like, well, they're family. You got to stay connected. No, sometimes family are by far the most toxic and like just detrimental thing to your entire existence.
Mm-hmm.
For some, especially the Black community, they're like family, family, family. Sound like Dom from Fast and the Furious franchise. I have family. Fuck family sometimes.
Like, that's why, like, for real, you have to be at that level sometimes, because if you're okay with letting a friend go that's holding you back, you should be okay with letting your family go that's holding you back. This doesn't mean that you don't love them any less. It's just that you're taking care of yourself. You can still reach out to them to see how they're doing, but they're just not going to be that priority that they used to be. And that's just that.
It's an unfortunate reality, and it's true. Like, you just gotta drop family sometimes. You don't want to, but it's like, fuck it, I gotta think about me. Which is why, like, I think people should have the control to decide when and if they want to have kids. Because what's the point of bringing another human being into a situation that's very toxic?
Mm-hmm. And y'all, that is one of the main purposes of Planned Parenthood. You plan for parenthood. Plan for parenthood. Planned Parenthood. That's how that works. Oh my God.
Birth control. Shut the fuck condoms. Up. Birth control. Condoms. Use them. It's easy. Just take it and do it.
Ooh, we take it. Oh, ooh, excuse me.
Like, well, I'm not sure, like, if they teach how to properly apply a condom. In health classes.
Not anymore. At all. I'll tell you now, not at all. Do not teach that at all. It's just, here's a banana. A banana is not a dick. You'll be better off using a cucumber or okay.
Well, I'm not. Well, the thing is, like, it's
anatomically similar.
Well, I'm not sure how many schools are actually gonna bring out a full ass dildo.
Child, they need to hire me because I bring the shit.
like a medium-sized cucumber will be decent enough because it does have a curve to it.
True.
Some of them do, and it's like more rounded at the tip, so it's a better representation. But a banana, that's a little bit sharp.
Ain't it?
But yeah, like teach them how to use a condom. Teach them how to follow the instructions on birth controls. It depends on which one. If you have the insertion, a shot, and the pill, and then the what's the other one? What it actually, I can't remember. They actually inserted into.
Oh, you're talking about the IUD?
There we go, IUD. I'm like, damn, I know this word. IUDs, like the implants go in your arm. Injections, obviously, is an injection. The pill, you take it every damn day, and the IUD, you get replaced every month or so. And like each one has its own effects and like pros and cons, but it all depends on what your body can handle. I am on the lowest dosage available on the market because my body can't handle anything else.
You know, let's talk about that. Let's talk about birth control. Well, at least for yourself. Is there a reason? Well, you say your body cannot handle the higher dose. So do you take birth control for hormone reasons, regulation reasons, or is it more of pregnancy prevention?
Mine is for hormone and just to stop my fucking period.
Oh, you know, for those, because you know I'll be knowing this shit. For those who do not know about what that means for to regulate and stop the flow, can you explain that a little bit more?
For me, I have severe menstrual cramps. Like there's nothing, like they haven't found anything medically wrong with me. Like I don't have endometriosis or MS or anything like that. I just have shitty luck. I have really bad cramps. They literally I can't leave my bed for 2 days sometimes. Like the pain is so bad. Like ibuprofen doesn't work, Midol doesn't work. I had to take prescription narcotics just to dull the pain. And I'm like curled around a heating pad. Yeah, but I have also my periods on a normal day is only like 3.5, 4 days. So I do have a very short cycle, but for half of that, I am in excruciating pain.
So 2 out of the 3 or 2 out of the 4. Ooh.
I am cramping like crazy. And then because it's like my hormones are already imbalanced, I do have a hormone imbalance naturally. Because of that, like my moods were everywhere. Like I'll be happy to like I'm about to punch holes into every surface on the planet. Then it's like I'm crying, I want to cry. Then I'm hungry as all fucking get out. And I'm back to being angry. Then I'm just tired because I'm going through all these freaking emotions in a time span of an hour. So I went on birth control to help with my mood, like my hormone levels, and then just to stop my period altogether.
You know what? I'm so happy that you're on birth control because a nigga's not really trying to walk into a room and just see the Hulk and just be like, you know what? And then 3 seconds later, the Hulk is crying, and then you just like, oh, I don't know what to do here.
The next thing I'm crawling in the bed, you're taking a nap.
Child, oh my God.
It also doesn't help that I'm anemic, so I'm like on iron pills. I mean, everything I can to increase my iron levels is dying. Like a bitch is suffering.
You know, I often think about how a lot of anemic women survive out here. I really do. I just like, first and foremost, it's cold everywhere you go.
Ooh, on honey, top of that, don't get me started on that one.
On top of that, you have Miss Flo coming over here just like, it's period time, bitch. How you doing? I just came to just let some blood out, bitch. And then, you know.
Yeah, that was also a reason. Like I was getting really lightheaded if I wasn't careful. Yeah, like there's been times I was sitting home from work because I'm like, I can't. So I'm like walking and she was like cramp and like seize up to ride out the cramp. Yeah, it was a rough life. I'm on that birth control, but it also fucks with my damn sex drive sometimes.
But you know, I will have to say that is a good benefit as long as you're not having cramps, because imagine what your sex drive will be like. Well, you already know. But like, I think it's a good payoff.
No, the birth control fucks up my sex drive.
Oh, so it's like absolutely none?
Oh yeah, there are times I feel sorry for my boyfriend sometimes. He's like, let's go. And I'm like, what?
Oh, damn.
Can I just lay here? Can I just go to sleep, please?
So would you rather the cramps or birth control?
Birth control, what the fuck you talking about?
I just
raggedy ass bitch. I don't like that bitch. I ain't going back to her. We divorced and we're staying divorced as long as we can.
Not y'all divorced.
Yeah, hell
So,
no, I ain't going back to that bitch.
well, let's talk about the flip side of birth control that a lot of people don't consider birth control for some reason, but it is birth control.
Oh, my skin
Condoms.
cleared right on up a little bit because my hormones are in check now.
Skin is skinning.
Mm-hmm.
So, condoms. So, have you heard the phrase "raw is law"?
Yes.
So I'm quite sure that both of us are on the side of breaking that law because fuck that.
Yeah.
So
Like, don't do that unless you know the person. Like, you guys been together for a while. Like, you understand the risk together. You know each other's history. You know each other's like everything before you decide. Like, let's take this condom off. Don't on the first fucking day. Like, condom. You and I have watched plenty of Paternity Court.
yes.
By the way, if you guys have never seen Paternity Court, it's on YouTube.
Watch
Go ahead and check it out.
Roku
it teaches
TV.
you to be very selective on who you have unprotected sex with.
Please. And Judge Lakes, if you hear this, I love you. You are phenomenal. Keep doing what you're doing. And if you want to sponsor a nigga, let me stop doing that.
Like, I absolutely love Fraternity Court. That's made me so cautious. I was already cautious before, but I'm like, let me make sure this. I always make sure I have condoms. I don't give a fuck.
Look, that show will make you really wrap it up, as well as see how much trauma is in people. Most definitely when it comes with how they live their lives or just raising kids. It's a lot that goes into that. Like how, anyways, we're not going down the paternity court. We need that could be.
We do need to have. We should probably get an episode that's about paternity court. That's just wild.
Right.
I love that damn show.
It's such a good show. Y'all need to watch it. But back to condoms. That's what we were talking about, right?
You know, go get the old.
Where were we going with condoms? I see.
Like, do we think raw is law? How we're breaking that law?
Yeah. So, okay, I know where I was going. So, it's crazy to me because, we started the show talking about abortions and whatnot. But the thing that's really crazy is that we have a culture within the United States of having sex raw, but at the same time, we are saying you cannot get an abortion. So I'm like, how do y'all not see how counterproductive that is? Like, you're out here shooting up the club, have the time of your life, and whenever something happens, you're not going to be able to raise a kid. You cannot do anything to get rid of that kid because guess what? The law says no in some states. Texas.
Man, if you live in Texas, man.
Child, you have to be forced to have a baby. You might be at gunpoint. Everybody got bullets and shit.
Man, go to jail for having a miscarriage, doing regular things. Like, hold up.
Got bounties on your head just because you wanted to get rid of a child. Why do y'all live in Texas? I just want to know. I know it's some fine ass people there. I know it's big in Texas, as they say, but I can't live there. That's the ghetto.
They'll probably kick me out first day. Like, get this loud ass bitch out of here. She talked back too much. And as they dragging me out, I'm like, yeah, I'll talk back, you bitch ass fucking state. Fuck y'all.
Look.
That's why y'all state's not even that good. I'll be talking mad shit.
Ooh, not that you're going after Texas Roadhouse.
Man, I be talking mad shit. Anderson roads, they're dry.
Ooh. Is it the Popeyes Dry Lord?
Ooh.
I don't think anything can beat that.
Man, that Popeye biscuit. You can.
You gotta pray once you go up to them that this is a freshly cooked biscuit and water.
You can make that shit submit. That shit ain't going nowhere.
Child, that thing could cause a coma.
Somebody just chuck that somewhere. That's attempted murder. Be in court. I present the evidence. As you can see, this is a Popeyes biscuit. It caused severe trauma to my client's frontal lobe, putting them in a coma for 6 weeks.
Child, instead of shooting people, police need to go ahead and carry those around. They'll get all the criminals, all right.
No. The punishment should be eating one of those without any type of liquid.
Oh, girl.
Not just one, you eat 4 of them. That's your crime, man. My throat just closed up a little bit. Let me get some water real quick.
Oh my God. I think all the fluids in my body just left.
Went straight dehydration on that one.
Said who? Child, Popeye's biscuits, only biscuits as dry as the desert. Hallelujah.
Man, the desert gets more water than that. At least they get rain.
Oh my God. Oh, now.
But they lit though. They be lit though. They be hitting the spot.
Only when they're fresh. Only when they're fresh.
No, I'm not talking about the biscuits. I never eat the biscuit.
Oh.
Hell, I try to get the biscuit to Gianni once. That nigga spit that shit out. He loves biscuits.
Even the dog knew. Bitch. What the fuck is this?
But you also know Gianni spoiled as fuck. He bougie for no reason.
He's your dog.
Shut up. Like everybody that's ever met him, they're like, damn, he's spoiled. Hell yeah, he's spoiled. That dog has better health care than most people do.
Child, I believe it.
Yeah, I just dropped like $300 on his ass. So it's like his surgery. Got them balls chopped off. Speaking of which, please be a responsible pet owner. If you're not breeding, if you're not a licensed breeder, you spade and neuter your pets. Well, that's the reason why they could. You never know. There's a lot of stray dogs out here. I'm not trying to add to the stray dog population.
Understandable.
So it's like, Johnny, I'm about to lose them.
Well,
sorry, I love you.
This goes into another conversation that we're going to be talking about today. One of my favorites is consent.
Oh God, yes. Yes is yes is yes is yes. A silence is not a yes.
It's not. Not at all.
Silence is not a yes. It's not a yes.
I think so. It's not a yes. Informed consent also matters, people. And by informed consent, meaning letting everybody know what's going on. As in, if you know that you have some type of disease, and this is not me saying this in a judgmental way, because anyone who does have an STI or anything like HIV, which is also considered STI, you are a sexual being and you are a person.
Okay,
but
we do gotta make it clear, in several states, a good number of them, not disclosing whether you have HIV or AIDS to your sexual partner and they contract it, you can be charged with attempted murder.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
Like, so please, if you do, like, there's nothing wrong. There's a lot of like medication that's a lot cheaper, not as poisoning to your body, that is coming out. But please tell your partner.
Please, and be responsible. Like, I know HIV is often used to go to the extreme level, but you also have to worry about, like, even with something minor, like, well,
syphilis.
I say minor because like just about 95% of the population has it, like herpes. But even things like that, it's useful to have that conversation with somebody prior to engaging in sexual encounter with them, especially if you're not going to be wearing any kind of protection. And on top of that, the reason why this consent discussion is important is because there's a lot of rape happening, people. Way too much. And
both nationally and internationally, it's just disgusting.
Very disgusting. And for those who do not know this, that is what I researched, rape culture, especially in the United States. Just for a random fact, rapes have actually gone up. I would have thought that rape would have went down during the pandemic. It went up by around.
People have nothing else to do. They haven't had human contact, so therefore they feel entitled to take what's already that wasn't given.
Right, like, and the number of spousal rapes that's not reported is very high. Just unreported rapes in general are quite high, and a lot of people don't understand what consent looks like, what it sounds like, and all of that. And
like, spousal rape is a big thing because I've seen the numbers for that. I'm like, good God, because a lot of people are like, well, they're married.
That doesn't mean you own.
I'm saying, yeah, but people are like, oh, they're married, so it can't really be rape. No, it can be.
It can be.
If one of them said no and the other kept pushing it, because coercion is a form of rape.
It is.
If you keep pestering a person, like, come on, if you order gaslight them, if you love me, you'll do it. If you really care about me, you'll do it. And that's how a lot of them do it. Like, well, so-and-so, that they'll bring up random things to get that person to think, okay, if I don't do this, therefore I don't love them.
If you have to manipulate somebody to persuade them to have sex with you, you shouldn't be having sex with that person, because that is literally sexual assault, just to let you know. Because I don't want to be intimate with any person that has to convince me to be intimate with them. Like, that should be a point of reflecting on who you are and not that other person. It's not that they don't love you, they're not interested in you. It's just no for right now. And this is why I'm a firm believer, because a lot of people say no reply is a reply. Well, is a response.
Yeah, the response is no.
Like, I'm on the side of just sending the response of no or blocking the person if you're not interested. And the reason why is because men need to be rejected. Like, you can get rejected for like 200 something jobs, and it's all good, but let a man get rejected from a woman that he's interested in, and that's when the toxic side comes out. That's when you get the name calling, bitch this, you are hoe, and all this other stuff.
Like, the number of women that have been killed just for saying a simple response that we're taught as a kid to always say we don't want to do something. No.
Right.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I say no all the time. It's my favorite words. No, I'm not going to do it. But it's like, there's always like this underlying fear when I'm saying it to like a man I don't know. It's like, damn, what if this motherfucker's one of those crazy ones that got like stab this nigga in the neck?
And that's the major fear of all of that too. Is there are some crazy mofos out here.
Like, it's disguised as an owl. Like, where you can put your fingers through the eyes, and it's like a little, it goes in your hand. It's like a little, the
little knife thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to get one of those.
Yeah, I have one because for those situations, like, if I have to say no, I always, like, I keep it low, that way they can't see it. It's like, no, I don't start doing it. And it's like, if they get aggressive, I'm like, I'm about to stab you straight in your chest and your neck. Like, that's not.
And for those men out there who
we do need to start promoting that more, ladies. Please start punching motherfuckers in the neck.
Please.
Hit them directly in the Adam's apple. It takes them at least 15 seconds to recollect themselves.
Run.
Kick them in the balls after that too.
Run. Get out of there.
Double, like double whammy them
to catch up to you.
And like dip.
Like, I just want a lot of men to understand that it is okay for someone not to be attracted to you. It is okay for someone to say no to you, because look, there's 7 billion people on this planet. That one person who rejected you, they're not rejecting you as a human being. They're rejecting your events. Accept that, and it's okay. And now, this is not to say there are not those women out here who may be as toxic as men, because trust me, they are.
They are. There's some terrible bitches out there.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
But you want to throw the bitches in the river with crocodiles in it. It's like, God damn.
Like, they
because some of them are just as terrible, and they think they can get with it because they're a woman. It's like, no, bitch.
No, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable for men to do it, and it's not acceptable for women to do it.
Especially women who are physically abusive. Those are the motherfuckers that get on my nerves the most.
Oh, you talking about the ones who purposely be hitting on their partners?
Like,
the young ladies who do that.
Women.
Well, older
like, they piss
too.
me off the most. They're like, they go say, welcome to a man, is to start 1-2 and just giving them that 1-2 combo, like they had ordering a piece from like Popeye or something. And then when the guy finally is like, fuck this, stop hitting me, and like defends himself, she wants to cry victim. It's like, nah, bitch. Like, I always tell my brothers, like, listen, don't hit her. Like, if you're mad, just walk away. But if she starts swinging, there's only way you can do it. If you have to put her through the fucking wall, then so be it. Because at the end of the day, I care about my little brothers more than I care about this random bitch. I want my little brothers to come out okay. And if she wants to say something, let her know. My older sisters, catch that part, sisters, told me to. And then if he doesn't want to, he's gonna give us a call. We'll roll up in a heartbeat. We'll put her through the fucking wall and into the dirt. It's like, listen, you're not going to hit my brother, because neither one of my, I'm not going to be really truthful, neither one of my little brothers would defend themselves in this type of situation. Like, they're really, really nice boys. Like, they're super sweet. I just know that they wouldn't have it in them to do that. Even if it's like their life was in danger, they would just try to walk away and try to get away as fast as they could. And then my bitch ass get ready for war. I'm like, so this bitch want to put her hands on a nigga. Ugh, we be doing like yoga, make sure I'm like super limber. I'm like, what the fuck this bitch up? So it's like, yeah, it's like, I mean, women can be just as toxic as men, sometimes even more so, because they think they have an extra layer of protection because they're women. Because you probably know some personally, because I know one.
Yes.
And it's like, bitch, no. If they fuck you up, don't come running to us because you started that fight. Like, don't start a my family always say, don't start a fight you can't finish to the end. Like, if you start a fight, you get TKO'd 2 seconds in, we gonna clown your ass.
As you should, honestly. Like, I'm of the mindset that, because the way I was raised, of course, I'm not going to hit a woman.
Yeah.
And I do encourage young men and older men that I meet that it's not okay for you to be hitting on a woman. But I'm also of the mindset that all men ain't raised the same way.
No, because some
So
bitch gonna out here catch one of those crazy ones that's gonna hem them up like a nice hairline. Like it's gonna like oof. Because I watched the video. I think it's in New York. It's either New York or Florida. It's always New York or Florida or California in some senses. The bitch, like this girl was literally just hitting him. Hitting this guy. I don't even know if she knew the guy. She was like literally hitting him constantly in this argument. He was just standing there. He was huge too. This man was tall as hell. And like it's a 5-minute video. Then finally towards like the end, he smacked the shit out of her. It was one solid smack. And everyone was on the channel like, why was she hitting? Because like it was like she was going on and on hitting this man. He finally had enough. I'm like, everyone has a breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't get mad when you push someone to that point.
Mm-hmm. This is why you should not put your hands on other people.
No,
if you are willing to throw hands, you better be willing to catch a hand back because it might come back to you. Like,
man, you better not bob and weave.
Better know how to take an ass beating.
Like I would personally prefer to talk it out before I run hands. Honestly, I'm like, man, why are we fighting? Like, listen, look at us. We too old for this shit.
Ain't it? It's like if I get to that point where there's a possibility of violence happening within a relationship, that's that moment when I just know
we gotta walk.
We gotta walk. Like I gotta get out of this. We are not healthy for each other. This is not productive in any way.
We gotta end this now. Yeah, which some people don't seem to understand. Like, don't try to hang into a toxic relationship. Please don't. It's not healthy.
It's not.
For either one of you.
Let it go. Let that shit go.
What's that Elsa song? Like, let it go. Let it go. I hated that movie. I didn't even like that movie.
I don't blame you. It was all right. It was great when it first came out, but after a while, I was like, you know what? I don't even know why I liked it.
I watched the movie 4 months after it came out. Did not care for it. I'm like,
right now. I don't think
y'all hyped this shit up so much. I was expecting something great.
Look, I don't think Encanto's gonna ever get played out though.
Man, hell no! I've watched the movie 3 times already.
The next Lion King, bitch. Like,
shit up. Like,
make the musical. Make the
that one hit more than Coco. I'm like, Coco was nice. You were like, I cried. This is nice. I didn't cry at all. And Encanto, I'm like, their grandmother apologized?
The growth? Anyways, we are coming up at that time. So we will be switching over to Never Have I Ever.
With your damn deck of cards, saying a few.
You know it.
Still pisses you. Like, I have a couple cards. The hell, my God, that's a deck.
I got a cards and a whole book. I didn't know there was
you said a whole book or a whole book?
Child, you know I got a whole book now. I wrote the shit.
You did write a book called The Essential Guides of Being a Hoe.
Yes.
Go ahead and buy that. It's on Amazon. It's actually a really nice little book. It's a quick read if you are a quick reader, but it's not hard to read if you're not.
It's not. It eases you through a lot of your own personal trauma, which is kind of interesting. That chapter 2 might get you shook. Anyways.
Terrible.
That's the one about consent, which is what we ended the show talking about somewhat.
Partially, yeah. We got to look aside.
We start with consent and start talking about beating people's asses. Lord.
Listen, sometimes no, that's actually part of consent.
It is.
Listen, if they can't take no for an answer, deck their ass in the chest.
Ain't it?
Just deck it. Just like, no, fuck this. We ain't doing this no means yes business. And I say no, it means no. There's no other translation for it.
None at all.
If I don't answer you, just automatically assume it's a no. Especially if I give you a look and it's like, did you just talk to me? And I turn away, that's a hell no.
Hell to the fuck no. Oh, and Shane, I already know the answer to this, so be prepared to tell your story.
Oh, God.
Never have I ever flirted with someone to get free drinks.
I have.
Child, you got us free drinks one night.
I would say, Brittany, I flirted with someone that's got you and me free drinks. What the hell are you talking about?
And people, young men out here who thinks that they are, have to be around their friends when they going out. You are not doing it right. Get you some female friends and go to the club with them, because guess what? A nigga never got denied getting into a club. And the nigga always had the occasional free drinks. I'm just letting you know.
Like you have a batch of pretty female friends, so we were getting shit that could dance.
Ain't it?
All that nigga wanted was a dance. I'm like, sure, get me a drink.
This is how things work out. This is how things. Whoever told you bros before hoes lied to you. They lied to you.
Hoes get them goals. What's good?
Amen to that. Ooh.
I don't think I've ever been a hoe though in my entire existence on this planet. I think I missed the thought and bopping time of life.
Well, technically speaking, you can be a hoe within your relationship with your partner.
I am.
Yes.
You have no choices,
man. You better hoe up for that man. I
told you about those times.
You did.
I'm exhausted. I'm a very tired being, okay? You know what it's like to be exhausted and then have to go to work all day?
Yes, I work
because this man just leaves in early morning sex.
Early. How early are we talking?
My guy, between 3 and 5 a.m.
He
wakes up.
I don't think my dick is definitely not up at 3 a.m.
This really motherfucker horny all day.
So Shane, you want another one?
Sure.
So, never have I ever had sex while at school or work.
I haven't.
I haven't either, but I low-key was trying to get some, with pandemic shit going on, being at home and being on the clock. I was like, you know what? Let me see who's on this app and who's available. Because I'm okay with having a little quickie during hours. I ain't meeting with students anyways.
Real whole shit right there.
Look, work from home. Get you some dome in the process. On that note, thank you so much, Shane, for being a part of today's episode. Can't wait for our next one. And for everyone who's listening, fuck y'all. I'm joking. I love y'all. Please subscribe.
Live y'all best whole life.
Yes, for live your best whole life. All right. And that's the episode. Thank you for listening to the Soliloquy Podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.soliloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.